The moonlight burned silver through the ancient oak trees as I stood on the ceremonial dais. My hands were trembling. My heart was pounding. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for what happened next. Alpha Derek Montgomery, my mate since birth, the man I had loved for 23 years, looked at me like I was nothing. "I, Alpha Derek Montgomery," he announced, his voice carrying across the entire pack, "reject you, Elara Blackwood, as my mate and future Luna." The crowd gasped. I felt my knees buckle. "But, Derek," I whispered, barely able to breathe, "we've been promised since we were children. Our families—" "My father is dead," he cut me off coldly. And his promises died with him. Behind him, I saw her, Vanessa Sinclair, the pack's most beautiful she-wolf. Her perfect blonde hair cascaded over her shoulders. Her emerald eyes sparkled with triumphant cruelty. She was wearing Derek's jacket. His jacket. The one I had given him for his last birthday. The world began to spin. "I have found my true Luna," Derek continued, reaching back and pulling Vanessa forward. "Vanessa is carrying my child. Our child." My entire body went cold. My wolf, Celine, howled inside me in agony. The bond I had felt with Derek for 23 years, the bond that had defined my entire existence, snapped like a brittle twig. The rejection ripped through me like 1,000 knives. I fell to my knees. The gravel dug into my skin, but I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel anything except the gaping wound where my soul used to be. "Please," I choked out. "Please, Derek, don't do this. I love you. I've always loved you." "You were never anything but obligation," he sneered. "A promise my father forced on me. Now get out of my sight." I tried to get up. I really did. But the rejection sickness was already setting in. My wolf was dying inside me. Without a mate bond, a she-wolf withers. It's a slow, agonizing process, a punishment for being unwanted. "Someone help her," I heard a child whisper. "Don't you dare," Vanessa hissed. "She deserves this. She's been clinging to Alpha Derek like a leech for years. It's pathetic." The pack, my pack, the people I had grown up with, the people I had protected and served my entire life, did nothing. They stood there, watching, judging. Some of them were my friends, or so I thought. Lily, my best friend since childhood, stepped forward. Her face was pale. Her hands were shaking. "Elara," she said softly, "you should go. Please, just leave before it gets worse." "Lily?" I looked up at her, hope flickering in my chest. "You'll help me, right? "I can't," she whispered. Tears were streaming down her face. "Vanessa's father is the new Beta. If I help you, my family will be ruined. I have 2 younger sisters. Please understand." She turned away, walked back to the crowd. And I was alone. They took everything from me that night. My title, my status, my home. My father had been the pack's chief healer. When he died 5 years ago, I inherited his position. I had spent my entire life learning the healing arts, saving pack members from wounds, sickness, and even death. I had given everything to this pack, and they abandoned me like I was trash. The pack house was emptied of my belongings. I watched from the steps as my clothes, my books, my mother's jewelry, my father's medical journals, everything I owned was thrown into a pile and burned. "The Alpha commands it," Vanessa's father, Beta Thomas Sinclair, announced with a cruel smile. "All reminders of the previous Beta's daughter must be destroyed. The pack needs a fresh start." Fresh start. That's what they called erasing my existence. When I tried to protest, to save my mother's necklace, the only thing I had left of her, Thomas backhanded me across the face. "Your mother was a traitor," he spat. "And now we know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Get out, before I have you killed." I stumbled out of the pack territory with nothing but the blood-stained dress on my back and a heart that had been ripped to shreds. I had no idea what was coming next. I walked for 3 days. No food, no water, no shelter. The rejection sickness should have killed me by the 2nd day. My wolf was dying, my body was shutting down, and I was hallucinating from the pain. But something strange happened on the 3rd night. I collapsed in a forest clearing, completely ready to die. I welcomed death. What was the point of living? My mate had rejected me. My friends had betrayed me. My pack had exiled me. I had nothing left. As I lay there, staring up at the starless sky, I felt warmth. It started in my chest, right where the mate bond used to be. A strange heat spread through my body, repairing the damage, knitting together the torn pieces of my wolf. What is this?" I whispered. A voice, ancient and powerful, echoed in my mind. "You are not like the others, little wolf. You never were." I sat up, gasping. My wounds were healing. My strength was returning. My wolf, Celine, was howling with something I had never felt from her before. Power. Raw, untamed, ancient power. What was happening to me? I had no idea what I was walking into. The forest led me to a massive territory. It was unlike anything I had ever seen. The trees were taller, the air was cleaner, and the energy was different, powerful, intoxicating. I was crossing a river when I heard them. The howls, multiple, deep, terrifying. Wolves, a lot of wolves, and they were hunting. I tried to run, but it was too late. They surrounded me. 6 massive wolves emerged from the shadows. Their eyes glowed in the darkness. Their fur was black as midnight. They were the largest wolves I had ever seen. "State your business," one of them growled, "or die." I didn't mean to trespass," I stammered. "I was lost. I'll leave, I promise." "The king will decide your fate." "King? What king?" I had never heard of a king in our region. The werewolf world was divided into packs, each with its own alpha. There was no king. There hadn't been a king for centuries. But these wolves were clearly powerful, and they were taking me somewhere. They led me to the largest castle I had ever seen. It was carved from black stone, towering over the forest like a monument to power and cruelty. It should have been cold, intimidating, terrifying. Instead, I felt home. The throne room was massive. Dozens of wolves in human form lined the walls. They were all beautiful, powerful, and terrified. All eyes were fixed on the single figure sitting on the obsidian throne, the Alpha King. He was enormous, at least 6'5", with shoulders that looked like they could carry the weight of the world. Dark hair, chiseled jaw, eyes like burning embers. And when those eyes landed on me, something shifted in the air. I felt it. He felt it. The mate bond. It slammed into me like a tidal wave. But unlike Derek's bond, which had always been weak and distant, this bond was overwhelming. It consumed me. It claimed me. "Who are you?" the Alpha King demanded. His voice was deep, commanding, but underneath it, I heard something else. Surprise, awe, confusion. "Elara," I whispered. "Elara Blackwood." He rose from his throne. The entire room went silent. I could have heard a pin drop. "Impossible," he murmured, stepping closer. You're the one?" "I don't know what you mean," I said, backing away. But my wolf, Celine, was screaming at me to go to him, to touch him, to claim him. "I have waited for you," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "For 300 years I have waited for the one who would break the curse." He knelt before me. The Alpha King, the most feared wolf in the world, knelt before me like I was royalty. "I am Alpha King Kale," he said, looking up at me with those burning eyes. "And you, Elara Blackwood, are my true mate, my Luna, my queen." I couldn't breathe. "I was just rejected by another alpha," I blurted out. 3 days ago, in front of my entire pack." Kale's expression shifted. The temperature in the room dropped. His eyes blazed with fury. "Who dared reject you?" he snarled. "Who dared hurt what is mine?" But I was wrong about something. Completely wrong. He wasn't angry at me for being rejected. He was angry at the one who had done it, and he was about to make them pay. "I don't understand," I said, my voice shaking. "How can I be your mate? I was born to be Derek's mate. Our families were promised." "Promises can be broken," Kale said, rising to his feet. His presence filled the room. "But fates cannot. You were always meant to be mine. That alpha, this Derek, he was never your true mate. He was a placeholder, a distraction. A distraction for what? Your true power." He gestured, and the wolves in the room dispersed. When we were alone, he led me to a hidden chamber behind the throne. It was filled with ancient scrolls, glowing crystals, and a massive painting. My heart stopped. The painting showed a woman with raven black hair streaked with silver. She had one amber eye and one silver eye. She looked exactly like me. Is this me?" I whispered. "No," Kale said softly. "This is Celine, the first Luna, the one who created our kind." My wolf howled inside me. Her name, my wolf's name. She was named after the first Luna. "Celine was the most powerful wolf who ever lived," Kale continued. "She could heal the sick, control the elements, and see the future. She was the heart of our people. But she was betrayed, murdered by those who feared her power." He paused, studying my face. "Before she died, she made a prophecy. She said that one day she would be reborn, a woman with her eyes, her hair, her soul. And when she returned, she would unite the wolf kind, or destroy us all." "But I'm not a goddess," I said. "I'm just a healer. I couldn't even save my own father." "That's the truth, Kale," a voice said from the doorway. We both spun around. A woman stood there. She was beautiful, with dark hair and calculating eyes. She wore a crown of silver and sapphire, and she was looking at me like I was a threat. "Who are you?" I demanded. "I am Queen Seraphina," she said coldly, "Kale's current mate. Well, temporary mate, until his true Luna appeared." "Wait, what?" I looked at Kale. He had a mate.
He was already with someone? "You said I was your true mate," I said, stepping back. "But you already have a Luna?" "Seraphina was a convenience," Kale said, his expression hardening. "A temporary arrangement to pass the time. She knew—" "Knew what?" I demanded, my voice rising. "That you would discard her the moment some stranger appeared? That's exactly what Derek did to me!" "It's not the same." "How is it not the same?" I was about to leave, to run, to get as far away from this mess as possible. And then Seraphina smiled, a cruel, triumphant smile. "Tell her the rest, Kale," she purred. "Tell her who cursed you. Tell her why you've been waiting for 300 years. The room went cold.
"Seraphina," Kale warned. "Don't." "Don't what?" I asked. "Don't tell me the truth? I deserve to know." Seraphina laughed. It was a horrible, grating sound. "Your precious Alpha King is cursed," she said. "A curse I placed on him myself, and the only way to break it is with the blood of the silver-eyed Luna, the one he's been waiting for." "You cursed him?" "Of course I did. I was in love with him, but he wouldn't have me. He said he was waiting for his true mate." She shrugged. "So I made sure he'd never find happiness. He's been trapped in this castle, watching his power fade, because I made it that way." I looked at Kale. His expression was filled with pain. "Don't listen to her," he said. "I didn't know." "Of course you did," Seraphina said. "You're an Alpha King. You know everything. You just didn't care." My head was spinning. I had walked into something far bigger than I ever could have imagined. And then Seraphina said something that changed everything. "Your mother knew the truth," she said. "That's why she was killed." "What?" "Celine's rebirth," Seraphina continued. "Your mother knew you would be the one. She spent her life hiding you, hiding your power from the wrong people." She smiled again. "She's dead because of you. And now, you're about to die too." But I was wrong. She wasn't trying to kill me. She was trying to use me. I should have run. I should have gotten as far away from Kale, Seraphina, and this curse as possible. But my mother's death, I had always wondered. The pack said she died in a hunting accident, but it never made sense. My mother was the best hunter in the pack. Now I knew the truth. Someone had killed her. Because of me. "Who killed my mother?" I demanded, my voice shaking with rage. Seraphina laughed. "Does it matter? She's dead, and you're next." "You'd better start talking, Seraphina," Kale said, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper, "before I rip your tongue out myself." Seraphina's smile faltered. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. "You can't kill me," she said, backing away. "If you kill me, the curse becomes permanent. You'll never break free. You'll be trapped in this castle forever, watching your power fade until you're nothing but a shell." I said speak.
"I didn't kill her," Seraphina shrieked. "I was trying to protect her. The elders, they knew what she was hiding. They knew about Ilara. They wanted to destroy her before her power fully awakened."
"The elders?" I asked. "What elders?" The Ancient Council, Kale said grimly. The ones who rule the werewolf world from the shadows. They're the ones who killed Celine in the first place. And they'll do the same to you. Everything was starting to make sense. Derek's rejection, the pack's betrayal, my mother's death. It wasn't random. It was orchestrated. Someone had been watching me my entire life. Someone had been making sure I never discovered the truth about my power. But now I knew, and I wasn't going to let them get away with it. Tell me how to break the curse, I said, turning to Serafina. Tell me, and I'll let you live. She stared at me, clearly shocked. You're not afraid of me?
I've been rejected, betrayed, and exiled, I said. I've lost everything and everyone I've ever loved. I have nothing left to lose. My eyes blazed. So yes, I'm going to break this curse. And then I'm going to destroy everyone who took my mother away from me, including you. Serafina laughed, but this time it was hollow. You really think you can do this? She asked. You're just a healer, a weak little she-wolf who can't even hold on to a mate. I moved before I even realized what I was doing.
1 second, I was across the room. The next, I had Serafina pinned against the wall, my hand around her throat. Golden light, the same golden light I had seen in the forest, was emanating from my body. I hissed, tell me how to break the curse. I had no idea what had just happened, but I also had no idea what was coming next. To break the curse, Serafina gasped, you need to complete the blood moon ceremony. The ritual will unite your power with Kale's and break the darkness that's been holding him back. And what does that entail? At midnight, during the blood moon, you'll exchange blood with him. You'll share your power, break the curse, and fully claim each other as mates. That's it? It's not that simple, Kale said, stepping forward. The ceremony makes us vulnerable. For 1 hour, we'll be completely defenseless. If anyone attacks us during that time, we'll die. Both of us. And who's going to attack us? The elders, Serafina said. They won't let Alara's power fully awaken. If she becomes the silver-eyed Luna, her power will be stronger than theirs, stronger than anyone's. They'll do anything to stop it. And you? I asked, releasing her. Why are you helping us? Serafina's expression shifted. The cruelty faded, replaced by something that looked almost like regret. Because I loved him, she said, looking at Kale. And because I've been cursed too. The elders threatened to destroy me if I didn't cast the curse. They made me poison the man I loved. Do you know what that's like? I know what betrayal feels like, I said quietly. I know what it's like to lose everything because of someone else's ambition. Serafina's eyes glistened. I was a fool. A jealous, desperate fool. And I've regretted it every single day for the last 300 years. Can you help us? I asked. Yes, she nodded. I can help you infiltrate the council. I know their weaknesses, their secrets, their private chambers. But you need to be ready. The ceremony is in 3 days, during the blood moon. If we miss this chance, it'll be another century before the moon aligns again. 3 days. That was all the time we had. Kale took my hand. His touch sent electricity through my body. We'll do this together, he said. Whatever happens, we'll face it together. I wanted to believe him. But I had been betrayed too many times. The next 3 days were a whirlwind. I trained with Kale's warriors, learning to control my power. It flowed through me like a river, wild and untamed. The more I used it, the stronger I became. I could heal wounds with a touch, control the elements with a thought, and see glimpses of the future in my dreams. But every time I used my power, I felt something else, something dark, something hungry. Your power is awakening too quickly, Kale warned. You need to pace yourself. If you tap into too much too fast, it'll consume you. I don't have a choice, I said. We only have 3 days. On the second night, I had a vision. I saw my mother. She was standing in a forest clearing, her silver-streaked hair glowing in the moonlight. She was beautiful, strong, but she was also terrified. "Run, Ilara," she whispered. "They're coming. They'll never stop coming. You have to." Then I saw them. The elders. 3 ancient wolves. Their eyes glowed like embers. Their bodies were covered in scars. And they were hunting. My mother ran, but she wasn't fast enough. I screamed. Someone shook me awake. It was Kale. His face was pale. "Ilara, what happened? You were screaming." "They killed her," I sobbed. "I saw it. They killed my mother, and now they're coming for me." Kale pulled me into his arms. "I won't let them hurt you. I swear it. I will protect you with my life." But I knew it wasn't that simple. The elders had been planning this for centuries. They had killed Celine. They had killed my mother. They wouldn't hesitate to kill me too. Unless I killed them first. On the 3rd day, I discovered the truth about Derek. I had been so focused on Kale and the curse that I had almost forgotten my former alpha. But then a messenger arrived at the castle. Someone who had once been my friend. Lily. She was a wreck. Her face was bruised, her clothes were torn, and she was covered in blood. "Ilara," she sobbed, throwing herself at my feet. "Please, you have to help me." "Lily?" I knelt down. "What happened? What's wrong?" "It's Derek," she cried. "He's gone crazy. He's killing everyone. He says he's going to become the Alpha King, that he's going to rule all the packs." "What?" "He found something," she gasped. "A prophecy. It said that the silver-eyed Luna would be his downfall, that she would destroy everything he's worked for. He's convinced that you're the one. He's building an army. He's going to attack." My blood ran cold. Derek was coming for me. "And he's not alone," Lily continued. "He's allied with someone else, an ancient wolf. They told him about the blood moon ceremony. They know what you're planning. They're going to attack during the ritual, when you're most vulnerable." "Who told him?" Kale demanded. "Who is he working with?" "I don't know," Lily sobbed, "but I saw them. They were old, really old, covered in scars. Their eyes glowed like fire." The elders. Of course. They were the ones behind everything. Derek's rejection, my exile, my mother's death. The elders had been planning this for centuries. They had manipulated Derek, used him as a pawn, and now they were going to use him to destroy me. But they didn't know something. Derek wasn't just a pawn. He was a tool. And tools could be turned on their owners. "If Derek is leading the army," I said slowly, "then Derek can be reasoned with." "Reasoned with?" Kale looked at me like I was crazy. "He rejected you. He exiled you. He made your life a living hell. And I know exactly what he wants. He wants power. He wants to be feared.
I smiled. So let's give him what he wants. Kale stared at me. Alara, what are you planning? I'm going to make Derek an offer he can't refuse. But I was wrong about something. Derek wasn't just after power. He was after something else entirely. Derek's army arrived at sunset. Thousands of wolves, hundreds of warriors, and at the front of them all, Alpha Derek Montgomery himself. He looked different. His eyes were red, his face was gaunt, and his skin had an unhealthy pallor. The Elder's influence had corrupted him. He wasn't the same man who had rejected me in the forest. He was something worse. "Ilara!" he shouted across the battlefield. "Come out! Face me like a wolf!" I stood on the castle walls. Kale was beside me, his hand on my shoulder. "Let me go down there alone," I said. "I need to talk to him." "Absolutely not," Kale said. "He'll kill you." "He won't. He needs me. Without me, the Elders will destroy him." I climbed down from the walls and walked onto the battlefield. Thousands of wolves watched me. Their eyes glowed with hunger and anticipation. "Alpha Derek," I said, my voice carrying across the field. "I'm not your enemy." "Liar," he snarled. "You were always a liar. From the moment we were promised, you've been hiding your power. You're not a weak little healer. You're a monster." "I never lied to you," I said calmly. "I never knew what I was. But I know now. And I also know what the Elders have promised you." Derek hesitated. "You don't know anything." "I know they promised you power," I said.
Alpha King power. They told you that if you helped them destroy me, they would make you the most powerful Alpha in the world, right? He didn't answer, but his expression gave him away.
"They're lying to you, Derek. They've been lying to you your entire life. They are the ones who killed my mother. They're the ones who turned you against me. They're the ones who manipulated everything to make sure I never reached my full potential. And why should I believe you?" "Because I'm going to give you exactly what you want," I said. "I'm going to make you Alpha King, not of one pack, of all of them." The field went silent.
"You're insane," Derek whispered. "Am I?" I asked. "Think about it, Derek. The Elders are ancient, powerful, and they have no loyalty to anyone but themselves. They'll use you to destroy me, and when I'm dead, they'll kill you too. Do you really think they'd let a rival Alpha rule?" Derek's eyes flickered with uncertainty. "Then what are you proposing?" "Join us," I said. "Fight with us against the Elders. Help us break the curse. And when this is over, I'll step aside. You can have everything. The power, the throne, the empire. You'll just give it to me?" I smiled. "All I want is revenge against the people who killed my mother. After that, I don't care who rules the wolf world. Let it be you. Let it be anyone. As long as the Elders are dead." Derek stared at me. The red glow in his eyes faded. "Alara," he said softly, "I'm sorry for everything. I was a fool. I was so blinded by ambition." "I know," I said. "That's why I'm offering you this chance. But you need to prove your loyalty. You need to help us destroy the Elders." Derek nodded slowly. "What do you need me to do?" And then everything changed. The Elders appeared.
They rose from the earth like ghosts, their ancient bodies covered in scars. Their eyes burned like embers, and their power filled the air, choking everyone around them. "Impressive speech, little wolf," the oldest elder said. His voice was ancient, cold. "But you have no idea what you're dealing with."
But I was wrong about what happened next. They didn't attack me. They attacked Derek. The elders attacked Derek with savage fury. They had been using him, manipulating him, and when he became a liability, they discarded him. Derek didn't stand a chance. The oldest elder grabbed him by the throat and lifted him off the ground. "You weak, pathetic fool," the elder snarled. "Did you really think we would let you rule? You're nothing but a tool, a useful distraction. And now you're nothing." I was the only one who could save him, and every part of me screamed to let him die. He had rejected me, abandoned me, made my life a living hell. He deserved everything he was getting. But that wasn't who I was. "No!" I shouted, charging toward the elder. "Let him go!" The power surged inside me. Golden light exploded from my body, sending the elders flying backward. Derek crashed to the ground, gasping for air. The 3 elders rose again. Their eyes blazed with fury. "You're stronger than we expected," one of them said, "but not strong enough." They attacked me together. I was fast, powerful, but they were 3, and they had been fighting for centuries. Blow after blow landed on me, sending me flying across the battlefield. Blood filled my mouth. My ribs cracked. And then Kale was there. He ripped through the elders like they were nothing. His claws tore through their bodies, sending black blood spraying across the ground. "Run!" he shouted to me. "Get to the castle! Complete the ceremony!" But I couldn't leave him. I wouldn't leave him. I drew on my power, every ounce of it. The golden light exploded from my body, and for a moment, I was unstoppable. I could heal the sick, control the elements, and now I could destroy my enemies. The elders screamed as my power ripped through them. And then everything went black. When I woke up, I was in the castle. Kale was beside me, his hand holding mine. His face was bruised. Blood stained his armor. "Is it over?" I whispered. "It's over," he said softly. "You destroyed them, all 3 of them. Your power? I've never seen anything like it." I sat up slowly. My body was throbbing, but I was alive. "What about Derek?" "He's alive," Kale said, his expression sour. "Barely. He's in the dungeons, waiting for your judgment." I didn't care about Derek, not right now. "The blood moon," I said. "Is it still rising?" Kale looked toward the window. The moon was climbing high into the sky, a perfect crimson red. "Yes," he said. "The ceremony is tonight. But Alara, you're exhausted. You need rest." "There's no time," I said, rising to my feet. "If we don't break the curse tonight, we'll have to wait another century, and I'm not waiting 100 years to be with you." Kale's expression softened. "You really want this? You want me?" "I've been rejected and abandoned my entire life," I said. "Everyone I've ever loved has left me. But you stayed. You fought for me. You protected me. And I know I'm not perfect. I'm broken. I'm angry. I'm not the Luna you deserve." "You're everything I deserve," he said, pulling me into his arms. "And everything I've ever wanted."
We walked to the ceremony chamber together. It was a massive room carved from obsidian, with a massive window showing the blood moon. Candles filled the space, casting flickering shadows on the walls. Seraphina was waiting for us. Her expression was somber. "The ceremony is simple," she said. "You exchange blood, you share your power, and you make a vow to each other. But you need to be careful. If you're interrupted—" "We know," Kale said. "We'll be quick." I took Kale's hands. His touch sent electricity through my body. "We don't have to do this if you're not ready," he said. "We can wait. Another century means nothing to me." "It means everything to me," I said. "I'm ready. I've been ready since the moment I met you." He smiled. Then he cut his palm with a silver knife. Blood welled up. I did the same. We pressed our hands together. Our blood mixed, and everything exploded into golden light. I felt the curse breaking. The darkness that had been haunting Kale for centuries was being ripped away, and at the same time, my power was flooding into him, healing him, completing him. We were one, true mates. And then I felt something else, the power of the silver-eyed Luna. It was vast, ancient, terrifying, and I had no idea how to control it. But I was going to learn. The next morning, I stood in the throne room. Derek was brought before me, his wrists in chains. His face was pale. His eyes were filled with fear. "Luna Ilara," the guard announced. "The former alpha of the Shadow Pack is here for judgment." I walked down the steps. Kale was beside me, his hand on my shoulder. "Alpha Derek," I said, "you rejected me. You exiled me. You made my life a living hell. And then you tried to destroy me. You tried to kill my mate, and you nearly succeeded." Derek dropped to his knees. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I was a fool. The elders, they promised me everything. I thought I could become the Alpha King. I thought I could have everything. And now you have nothing." "I know," he said, tears streaming down his face. "I don't deserve mercy. I don't deserve forgiveness. But please, please don't kill me. I have a family, a son." "A son?" I raised an eyebrow. "With Vanessa?" Derek nodded. "He's just a baby. He needs me. Please, I don't care what happens to me. Just let him live." I thought about my own mother. She had died to protect me. She had sacrificed everything to keep me safe. "Vanessa is already in the dungeons," I said. "She's serving a life sentence for her crimes. But your son is innocent. He'll be raised by the pack. He'll never know what you did." "What about me?" I looked at Kale. He nodded. "You'll be exiled," I said. "Stripped of your title, stripped of your power. You'll spend the rest of your life as a human. No wolf, no powers, nothing." Derek sobbed. Thank you, Ilara. I don't deserve this." "No," I said coldly. "You don't. But I'm doing this for my mother. She believed in second chances. And maybe, someday, you'll prove her right." 1 year later, I stood on the castle walls. Kale was beside me, holding my hand. We were watching the sun rise over our kingdom. So much had changed. I had learned to control my power. I had become the silver-eyed Luna. And with Kale by my side, I had rebuilt the werewolf world. The packs were united, the elders were gone, and the curse was broken. But most importantly, I had found my place. I had found my home. "I love you," Kale said, pulling me into his arms. I know I don't say it enough, but I love you. You changed everything. You changed me too, I said, looking up at him. Before I met you, I was broken, lost. I didn't know who I was or what I was meant to be. But you showed me. You believed in me. I'll always believe in you, he said. You're the strongest person I've ever met. You survived rejection, betrayal, exile, and you came out even stronger. I smiled. I had help. And then I looked down at my belly. Kale followed my gaze. His expression shifted to awe. Ilara? Are you? Yes, I whispered. I'm pregnant. With our pup. Kale picked me up and spun me around. His laughter filled the castle. Wolves howled in celebration. I've been waiting for this for 300 years, he said. And now, everything is perfect. Everything is perfect, I echoed. I thought about the journey that had brought me here. The pain, the heartbreak, the betrayal. But I also thought about the love, the strength, the new beginning. I was no longer the rejected Luna. I was the silver-eyed queen, and I was exactly where I was meant to be. Why did the Alpha King choose me? I murmured. Kale heard me. He looked into my eyes, my mismatched, powerful eyes. I didn't choose you, he said softly. Fate did. But if I had to choose, I would choose you 1,000 times. And I knew, with every fiber of my being, that I had found my happy ending.